What is up, internet? It's your boy Tenku, and today we're talking about an anime of the season that really just came out of nowhere for me, and I really can't stop watching it. I gotta get that next episode as soon as it comes out. Today we're gonna be talking about a show called Ousama Ranking. In English, it's called Ranking of the Kings. This really came out of nowhere for me, and this is a perfect example of great story can conquer all, can trump all as far as like art goes and things like that. So let me explain. So Ranking of the Kings, or Osama Ranking, which I'll just refer to probably as Osama Ranking, is a Japanese web manga series. It was written and illustrated by Sosuke Tuka or Taka, and again, it's a perfect example of how great story trumps all. I try to read the web manga, and the art is really not to my liking. It's really bad. The art style on this anime is more like a Ghibli style, and now that I've seen the manga, I know why they went to that style, because it's more, they draw out more cutesy, happy, bright colors, cutesy style. But this anime is actually really dark, and it's really heartfelt. It's one of the first ones I've seen that's super heartfelt and super dark at the same time, and they blend together perfectly. So it centers around our main character, Boji, or Baji, who is a prince. He is deaf and mute, which means he can't talk and he can't hear. And in this world, there's a bunch of kings and stuff, and they're all ranked compared, there's like a whole ranking system they got, and there's people who actually rank the kings, and his father is one of the higher ranked kings, not number one, but one of the higher ranked because of his sheer strength alone. And he's in line to be the next king because he's the eldest, but again, he's deaf and mute, so he can't really talk, and he's considered super weak. He didn't inherit none of his father's strengths. His sword training's not going very well, and people take advantage of him, make fun of him all the time because he's deaf and mute, and he does things that are really weird, and people doesn't understand him at all. Well, he ends up meeting Kage, who is like this little black shadow thing, who is a creature from the Shadow Clan that used to swear fealty to another king. But his story is super sad and super dark too, so I'll let you guys watch it to find out. But it's really, really sad. And through circumstances, he meets Boji, and at first takes advantage of him, and like is basically not robbing him, but like tricks Boji into basically giving him expensive things all the time. And then when he follows him out of curiosity back to the castle, sees how he's treated, decides, kind of triggers him to his memory and his past, and he decides he's going to be on this guy's side. Him and Boji are going to be tight. He's going to support him because Boji's the first person to ever treat him like an actual person, out of everybody he's ever met. And he can actually understand Boji, because when you're deaf and you're mute, like when you try to talk, it's just sounds, because you don't know what, you can't hear yourself, you don't know what words are, so it just sounds. But for some reason, Kage can actually understand him, so they're kind of perfect for each other almost. And I do want to mention, and then so basically they go on an adventure, and that's what the story's about, him trying to become the strongest king. Of course, he is stabbed in the back by his half brother Daida, who also wants to be king, and his story's kind of riveting as well. He is the bad guy, I would say, of the story. He has this magic mirror he talks to, and it seems like it's kind of evil. So, like, watching it to find out that part of it is worth it as well. And of course, there's the henchmen and the guards are supposed to train and stuff like that. I won't mention their names because there's a lot of betrayal going on. And then you see like Boji's interactions of like how his side, why the people that want Boji to be king love Boji so much, and then people who like are with Daida are basically out of loyalty or whatever, or fear or whatever. And you see just the merge and this developing story of almost a civil war brewing because of what's going on. And so, great storyline there. He has a stepmom named Healing. His mom, who seems like she was kind of a giant, and which is kind of weird because Boji's not, was very gentle and wanted him to be like the best king ever. And so that's Boji's like mentality. I'm gonna be the best king. I'm gonna be the best king. I'm gonna be the best king. Well, he doesn't become king because his brother kind of stabs him in the back. His mother and his stepmom kind of stabs him in the back. But her story's kind of interesting as well. Healing is weird because the first episode you see her and she's a complete B. You're like, well, screw her. Of course she wants her son to be king and not her stepson and blah blah all this stuff. But then you watch the second episode and it's very intriguing. You kind of see how they met and how Boji treated her and accepted her after his mom's death and everything like that. And so it's kind of it's like split. You kind of start to understand her reasoning why she doesn't want Boji to be king, but she's a total B to him in public, I'll say. And but private, it's something different. So it's really interesting to watch the dynamic. So you don't really know where she lies, and so that's another interesting angle of the story. So I can't get enough of this, guys. I think it's amazing. Again, I'm not a big fan of the art because it's that Ghibli style, and we all know my thoughts on Studio Ghibli. I'm not a big Miyazaki guy. I'm just not. But the story is so good. It's so dark. It's so intriguing that it just pulls you in. And I don't mind the art style because the story's so good. I think everybody should watch this. So, you guys tell me what you guys think. You guys think I'm crazy? Have you guys seen it? Comment down below on the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Don't forget to sub. And, if you like these kind of videos, I have editors that by toss them up in the corners. And remember, if you can't trust a fat guy you met on the internet, then who can you trust? And everybody have an awesome day.